And we're live. We're back. I've got DJB. I've got Kenny Ken. It's normally a Wednesday, but with our game on Wednesday, it made sense to get them on. Wow, the thoughts are still fresh, man. Before we get into Newcastle and everything, how's the man doing? How are you guys, man? I hope everyone's blessed. And big up the chat.
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Nice to be here on a Monday. So I'm glad the show went ahead because obviously Wednesday we've got Champions League. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. You know, good win yesterday. Hard fought win, very physical game, but we always knew it was going to be physical. Always is a physical battle at Newcastle, and if you come out of that with 3 points, then yeah, it's always nice. It's always nice. But I enjoyed the game, to be honest with you. I thought the game was good. I thought Newcastle, you know, looked okay in phases of play. But yeah, for once we can have something positive to say, if you like, which is good, which is always good, which is always good to have some positives to say. But
careful, they think you just want to moan about your team all the time.
No. I always like to be. I always like to give credit where credit's due.
I agree.
But then I always like to kind of keep my feet on the ground because we've been here many times before. So, you know, still a long way to go yet. But all good, my friend.
I'm happy, like you said there, DJB. The key point, you said something there. It's like when you go and play St. James's Park, or you play Newcastle, better yet, at St. James's Park, you just want to get 3 points. We failed Arteta at Anfield. We didn't really put down a marker against City. I'm not going to go as far as to say it's a marker. I somewhat think it is, but there's other tests. Kenny, what are you saying? Because you got more hair flicks at the moment than Gyökeres and Odegaard. Maybe we've seen another.
I think I've got a bit more hair than Odegaard at the moment. I only had glass cut his hair recently.
Yeah, right.
I do try like to keep my hair neat, but I'll tell you one thing: the game had everything. Had controversy, you know, a real battle between a centre forward and a defender.
Facts.
It had some good performances. Had a passionate crowd, and we won. And that's the most important thing. We won. You know, I think Eze showed us yesterday what he can do in that sort of midfield position, where he doesn't have. Well, I've been saying for a long time, the player that replaces the player that you sold doesn't have to be the same player.
Doesn't have to be like for like. Just adapt.
You know, he's different from Odegaard, just like Zubimendi. He's different from Partey. They give you something different, so you can have something different. For instance, Eze is a goal scorer. He's a goal scoring midfielder, so
he should have bagged as well.
Season, and he can go Partey's man. So that's what he brings to us. You know, I thought Trossard, you know, first half I thought he was really well. He had a chance, you know, normally would put I thought he played really well. And I thought he scored the best game in an Arsenal shirt. So these are positives. Penalty, I thought it was a penalty. I'm still convinced it was. Just as I'm convinced that perhaps Newcastle's penalty was a penalty. But you know what? I think it was a penalty. Because the same way I thought ours was a penalty, I thought, oh no, he's done it again.
Because Kenny's a good guy, he's just being a gentleman, people, man.
I've seen him given. But one thing I would say in life, you know, they say a favour for a favour. Well, we don't get that our one, they shouldn't get theirs. I'm not saying that VAR evened it out, but if you play by the rules, first touch came off the goalkeeper, and then the first touch came off Gabriel. Then that's how.
Come off like his knee or something, and then hit his. What's he supposed to do with his arm? Obviously, I'm a hypocrite. If the shoe's on the other foot, I want that. But
VAR have said something similar, that it was that the goalie Pope made the tackle, but it doesn't matter because we won. But if it was a case of it was a draw, we lost. Oh my God! Can you imagine social media? And you know what? It'd be a righteous anger, in my opinion.
I don't think you're lying, man. You know what? Yeah, just before we get into the game and everything else, yeah, I just want to ask you two quickly. Like, obviously, Kenny said it, so I'll point the question to DJB. Like, did you think Gyökeres' one was a penalty, and like, why wasn't it given for you, DJB?
Oh, it was definitely a penalty. I mean, if that's kind of on the halfway line or anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick. The fact of the matter is, he says that the goalkeeper, this where he played the ball first or touched the ball first, to me, is a bit is kind of like a grey area, because If he'd have touched the ball and completely changed direction of the ball, then Gyökeres would not have had control of that ball. Then I can understand the touch was good enough to warrant a tackle. But the fact of the matter is, he hardly touched the ball. And if Gyökeres had stayed on his feet, he would have still had control of that ball, or that ball would have been in a good distance between the player, between himself.
All courtesy of Eze clipping it over the top as well, man.
You know, so as far as I'm concerned, he didn't get enough of the ball to change the direction and to make Gyökeres lose control of the ball. He would have still had control of the ball. And then the follow through from his knee obviously brought the player down. One thing that's missing that no one's mentioned, and I've watched lots of streams and no one's mentioned it. If you look at Gyökeres' dive, it was a bit theatrical.
He did oversell it. But is he the first or the last one to do that?
He's overcooked the actual kind of incident. Whether that, I'm not saying it has,
because we've seen players be honest and then they don't get him.
I think if he'd have gone down more honestly and in a more natural way, it might have had a different view on the referee. But the referee's given it. It's not clear and obvious. There's not enough connection on the ball to change the direction drastically enough for Gyökeres not to have a chance of scoring. For me, I think he bottled it, because if he gives the penalty, he's got to give the red card.
Yeah,
that's what I was baffled.
That's something else that no one's mentioned. So he had two jobs to do. The first job was to give the penalty, and then the second job was to give the red card, because he was the last man, and it was a professional foul because Gyökeres had no defenders around him. He had an open goal to score, right? And I think that was another reason why he changed his mind when he went and looked at it over the monitor. He probably thought, oh dear, I've got to now send him off, you know?
Do you think they got in his ear? Because I think the ref had
I think he had a lot in his ear. The problem is with it, DG, right? If a referee is going to do that kind of thing and go over to the monitor and change his on-field decision, this is where us as fans, and I'm not just saying it because I'm Arsenal or anyone else, I'm talking about football fans in general. When you asked a football fan whether it was a penalty, whether it was a free kick, whether it was a sending off, all you want as a football fan is consistency, right? Because I'll bet you any money now that within the next couple of weeks, the ref will be given an on-field decision. He'll be going to the monitor and he'll be then sticking to his decision and stuff like that.
What did I say? Look, chat, what did I say earlier? The exact same thing word for word, DJB.
You just want consistency, DG. That's all you're asking for. If it's consistent, then fine. And to be honest with you, it was consistent because he didn't give the Gabriel one. Because the Gabriel one, it came off of his foot, went up. I think it hit his knee before it hit his hand. If it clears his leg and hits his arm, that's a penalty. That is a straightforward penalty. Even though we might turn around and say, "Oh, well, where can he put his arm? Where can he put this?" That's a penalty all day long if it doesn't touch his leg or anything else. But for me, I think there was two things that made that decision against Gyökeres. There wasn't enough on the ball for me not to give the penalty on the tackle. And secondly, he would have had to have sent him off. And I think those two things there, I think he had and with VAR in his ear as well. But I'm not clear of the rules. I just thought VAR
join the club. I don't think anyone is.
Yeah, seriously, DG. I honestly thought that VAR was there for if it wasn't clear and obvious. But if it's clear and obvious, then let the referee just do their job.
Even Alan Shearer don't get it. I saw his podcast today. Ex-pros don't get what's going on.
Just let the referee do his job on the field of play, you know, and then we'll all talk about it after. But with the VAR now, kind of, it's electronic. Everything now has gone too far with VAR. I understand there's a need for them, and I think there are some incidences where offsides have been offside and they've not been given, and I get all that now. But things like that, I mean, straight away I look at the linesman. Now, back in the day, the linesman puts the flag across his chest. The assistant and the linesman says, right, anything on the right from the centre spot to your area.
Facts.
If it's a penalty, get the flag across your chest. And the same as, that's it. There's none of that now. The linesmen are just there to just see if the ball's
the extras, really. They've got the best job in football.
That's all they're there for. I mean, the assistant referees now carrying the flag, they might as well just not be there. I mean, their job is literally just to give throw-ins and make sure the ball's touching the line on the corner quadrant. That's all they're there for. Fact. But no, listen, it did not affect the outcome of the result. If it had done, there'd have been uproar. But then you could have said that Newcastle perhaps should have had a penalty. Gabriel should have been sent off. We can go into it and go on.
Word to Wenger, I didn't see it, but it kind of went for us. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So let's say honours even, and we come out with 3 points. That's all I'm saying there.
And the last thing I'll say on that DJB as well is that, like you said, the main thing is clear and obvious. The frustrating thing for me is exactly what you said: consistency. I know Arsenal fans, we all whine about referees. We've been gaslit to believe referees are consistent. What I like is that these things happen. Obviously, Arteta and the boys got the 3 points, got the job done. And maybe I'm looking at this a bit too well. But my frustrating thing is, obviously we got another week of football for the international break. We're going to see an identical situation with a different outcome, which I've kind of accepted. And then I know you can't look at football like this year, but then it dawned on me to watch it again. So I watched where Gyökeres has obviously been brought down. I just purely watched Nick Pope. Obviously, they can't just go on a player's reaction, but that tells me the guilt. He's not contested it. He's not done anything. Like, if he ran to the ref and was like, "No, it's not," I kind of get it. But he's guilty. It's not like he is guilty.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. But as you said, it does even out.
His face was definitely like running over the rabbit in the road. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like he never got out of the way quick
enough. There weren't enough on that ball to warrant a genuine. The goalkeeper was caught, and I honestly think because he would have had to have sent him off, double jeopardy. I honestly think he bottled it. The referee, personally.
And I don't want to be that guy, but I think if the shoe's on the other foot and that's Raya coming out, I think everybody knows what time it is, especially at Newcastle, where we've conceded goals where the ball's gone out of play. But the main thing for me is control the controllables, because I can only speak for myself, but obviously we didn't, Mascara's given away a dumb corner. Gabriel hasn't defended well enough. Excluding that, I actually think we did quite well. And then you throw in the refs. If we lost 1-0, I would have said, you know what? I'm a bit annoyed, but everything I kind of wanted to see, I wanted to see. But that's why I'm even happier, because for me, that's how you win a title. At least that's how Arsenal win a title. I think you have to be perfect. I feel maybe I'm exaggerating, but this is probably the first time that a decision or decisions haven't gone our way. The ref, we were crying about the ref, but we fundamentally just got the job done. That is the main thing. We just got the job done, which leads me to ask you, do we have to? Surely Arteta has to get some flowers, man. I actually think Arteta was bang on. We was direct, everything.
Listen, you know where I stand with a football manager, and the chat do, and anyone that follows me do. But I've never once kind of not praised him when I've never not once given him credit where credit's due. And yesterday, he got it right. And you have to. What I liked about it yesterday, and this is all what we've been crying out for, is being proactive. He didn't wait, and we didn't go 2-0 down. We weren't chasing the game horrendously before he starts making substitutions.
For once, we're creating chances from open players.
We're 1-0 down. The clock is ticking, and he's activated the substitutions and made the right substitutions. But I've been saying this now. If anyone's been following me, I've been saying this for 2, maybe 3 seasons now. There's 2 things what must happen to Odegaard. Number 1, take the captaincy away from him. And there's no disrespect to Odegaard. Some players just don't like that responsibility of being captain. At the level of football I played, there was men going out there being captains and they just weren't comfortable with it. It affected them. I don't think Odegaard would be too stressed if the captaincy was taken away from him.
Surely that'd break his heart though, man.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed, but I think it would unleash. And I've said all along, and this is what I couldn't understand in the game against PSG. I couldn't understand it when Odegaard lost form. I said to him, try something different. Put him in the 8. Put Declan Rice in the 6. We didn't have Eze at the time, but I'm going like, put Saka in the 10, put Wanyeri on the right, Put Wanyeri in the 10, Saka on the right, anything. Just try something different. Let's see something different. If it don't work, it don't work. Try something different. What did he do yesterday? Take Zubimendi off. We'll get onto him later on because I'm still trying to find out what he does. For me, he doesn't do anything. He's lazy. He doesn't produce.
Oh, lazy, Mendy lazy.
No,
Did
no,
you see what Timber should have scored?
We'll get on to Zubimendi later on, but let's keep it positive. He brings him on in the 8, gives him a little free run, sort of Vitinha-like, lets him run around. Man looks dangerous, gets his mojo back, got a spring in his steps. Suddenly we're looking different. Rice goes into the 6. Suddenly we're looking a different team. Eze in the 10. And that's the way forward. I'm sorry, if we're going to be serious of winning this league, we don't, especially at the Emirates, we cannot go back to having 2 defensive midfield player when we're playing at home. Put Rice in the 6, Eze in the 10, Odegaard in the 8. The only negative that I've still got, and a lot of our Arsenal fans are still asking the question, our left-hand side is still a problem, DG. For me, I mean, Kenny said Trossard had a good. For me, I didn't see enough of Trossard yesterday. The bit where he hit the bar or hit the post, yeah, that. But other than that, his output was quite non-existent. And if you put Martinelli on there, well, we see how Martinelli turned up against Port Vale. So, listen, I still think the left-hand side's a problem going forward. I still think that we haven't kind of conquered that yet, if you like. But yeah, let's just go and try Odegaard and Eze playing together, because they're going to be a nightmare to pick up for defenders, because Eze's going to drop into those little pockets, sort of Dennis Bergkamp settings, if you like. Right. And then Odegaard's going to be drifting left and right. He's going to be dropping deep. He's going to be going on the left. He's going to be going on the right. And that's what I've been saying all along. That's what I've been saying all along. You know, you look at your top teams like your Barcelonas and your Real Madrid. They've always got someone in midfield where you're thinking, yo, where's he playing? Is he on the left? Is he on the right? Is he dropping deep? Where is he? I can't pick this man up. He's everywhere. And I think that's what we need going forward. We need that kind of midfield player where he just buzzes around and makes things happen and links up play. So for me, that's the way forward on there. And he got that right. He got that right. Is Gyökeres still getting the supply and the ammunition? No, he's working tirelessly. I thought yesterday he stood up. You know,
worked his socks off yesterday. Man.
Worked his socks off. I mean, his work rate you can't fault him for. But is he getting any real clear-cut chances, through balls, one-on-ones? Not really. But the only time I did worry is I think he was put through. I think he came through. I'm not sure whether it was a tackle and the ball sort of went to him. He didn't know whether to go right or he didn't know whether to go straight forward. And in the end, he was in 2 minds and the defender nicked the ball off of him. You know what I mean? So that's got to come into his game. Whether he's trying too hard, I don't know. But for me, that's a problem with Gyökeres. He's still kind of, you know, running around up front. Someone says Marino does that. I don't want to see Marino in midfield, man. Marino's not a midfield player.
Yeah, I want him up front, man.
What you saw Marino do yesterday is what Marino does. He comes off the bench. You throw him up top. You need a goal. You need a threat. You need something different. That's Marino.
Good in the final actions of play.
That's Marino. The Marino that plays for Spain in that Spanish quality team is not going to be the Marino you see at Arsenal. That is his level. Come off the bench, make something happen, get on the end of something. Just arrive somewhere. Do you know what I mean? That's Marino. But starting in midfield as a 10, as a midfield player, no. Definitely not. But that's what I'd like to see going forward, DG. Especially West Ham at home. We don't need Zubimendi and Rice in the same team.
Oh, you wouldn't start both of them against West Ham?
No,
I know their form's a bit woeful.
I'd start Odegaard in the 8. I told you my lineup. Odegaard in the 8, Eze in the 10, Saka in the right, Declan Rice as a 6 with roaming forward, getting forward box to box like he can do. Yeah. Get him in the 6, just playing in front. Left-hand side's a problem for me. You know, you got Trossard or Martinelli.
Do you think he goes Eze on the left, Odegaard back in against West Ham? I know we got the Champions League team.
I think Eze'd be wasted on the left. I think that's clear and obvious now. You've seen Eze for what he can do from a central and we've said this all along.
2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, we've had people turn around and say, "Oh, he's a left-sided midfield player." We had people come up with heat maps telling me that he's left-hand side.
Big up the goal, man.
Yeah, you know, the man that talks the talk, but you know what I mean. But like, you know what I mean. He's bringing up heat maps and all this nonsense and madness, you know. But he can see from his own eyes, he's not a left hand.
He does his best magic in the midfield.
Listen, I'm not saying he can't play on the left. Before everyone jumps on. He can play on the left, but he's not as effective on the left.
Get the best out of him centrally.
He's more central. He's more central. So, yeah. And do you know what? I'd bring Skelly back in as well because I weren't impressed with Calafiori yesterday. I thought he was a bit wild.
On Cala, man. I wouldn't say he was amazing.
No. Listen. The result was good. Mikel got it right. We're all gassed. But if you're going to pick out individuals and give them out of 10s, Calafiori was.
Should we do that? You know what? Let's do that. Let me get the lineup up.
Yeah, I don't know where Kenny's gone. What's he nipped off to Newcastle? What's happened to Kenny?
I don't know, man. Kenny's been acting brand new, man. He's been doing.
Where's Mark Kenny? Here he is. Come on, Kenny.
For God's sake! I'm
What's
in
going
and out. Does anyone
might be the green screen,
cameras? If you can help me set my camera, I'll be very grateful because I'm getting really.
I think it's the green screen.
Yeah, I can't get green screen on mine. So.
Yeah, I think it's the green screen.
It might be your lighting, Kenny, in your place because it's still daylight.
What have you done that hasn't been there, man?
Try darkening it down.
Is this better? Is this better?
He's drifting out like Calafiori.
Yeah, we can work with it. We can work with it.
Yeah, sorry everyone. Sorry, because I'm just really annoyed by this.
Or if not, just go speech only, Kenny. Just go.
Yeah, all that, man. What's ever easier? We know you're here.
No, this is easy because I like to be sick. Oh,
yeah,
it's really winding me up, man.
Yeah,
right,
but
let me just.
Well, Kenny's just trying to sort it out. As I said, individually,
I'll come out again.
As a team wise, brilliant performance. But if you're going to go over individuals, Calafiori kind of.
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't think that was his best game. Don't think it was his best game. Timber was outstanding, man.
Timber quality, man of the match for me. All right, let's do player ratings. What are you giving Rail?
We didn't have to do a lot, did he, really? But what he done when he punched the ball from the corner, I mean, he didn't have to do a lot, but what he done well, didn't he? I mean, yeah, I'd give him 7 and 8. Give him an 8.
Yeah, I'll give Rail that, man. Everything he had to do, you did your
everything he had to do, he coped well, and he's good with the ball at his feet. What I did like about him when he was throwing it, to try and get the attack going.
Yeah, some bullet throws sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Even in the beginning of the game when he's popping it into the channels, mainly for Calafiori, because you're not going to get much out.
So I'll probably give him an 8. I'll probably give him an 8. Yeah,
I think that's fair. Raya, that's an 8. I'm going with 10 out of 10 for Timber. The only thing I think you could have done better is when Zubimendi's played that lovely ball over the top. I know you're right back, but if you score, then I'm probably doing a lot of agenda in here with you, man.
Yeah,
but 10 out of 10 for me with Timber, man.
I thought he was outstanding. I mean, there was an incident where there was 2 or 3 Newcastle players on the touchline in their half in the second half, and he got bogged down, and they was all taking little chunks at him and little slices of him, and he managed to kind of wriggle free and get the ball. I'd still like him to get, when he gets in that final third, I'd still like his final quality a little bit better, like his decision making. So I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him a 9.
Where do you stand on that? Sorry to cut you. People, if you didn't hear what DJB said, he gave him a 9, yeah? Where do you stand on specifically? Because obviously, big up Ben White. I don't want to say a slight on Ben White. Love him. Think he's kind of been a forgotten toy and a forgotten soldier because he's put his body on the line for this club for years, right? But one thing I always bicker on my channel about is Timber versus White, specifically in the final third. Now, some people say White's better. Me personally, I can't see that. I think Timber's much better than the third. But where you at with that?
Timber's the better defender. Timber's the better defender, one-on-one. He's more aggressive. He is a better defender. And that's no disrespect to Ben White, because I'm not one of these on the Ben White bandwagon where he's kind of that. I don't think he's done a hell of a lot wrong, Ben White, to be honest.
He's just got better.
It's just that Timber's come along and he's looked better.
There was a point Timber was doing up left back and White was right back.
Yeah, I just feel in certain situations, in an attacking sense, Ben White's decision making is just slightly ahead of Timber's.
At what though?
On a one, on a
a
1-2, or a pass, picking out a pass when he sometimes
that
Ben White's
ball
put
over
Saka,
the top. He does.
sometimes Ben White's put Saka through on a nice little through ball or something like that.
Yeah, he does.
And he's kind of played the ball in, like when Havertz was fit, he's kind of picked Havertz out on a ball sometimes, whereas Timber doesn't. He's not given. He's done it in moments, but he hasn't done it consistently. But I'm not saying Timber's Ben White's better than Timber. I think Timber all round is better. But the reason why I give Timber 9 out of 10 is because it's just his decision making in that attacking final third for me. So 9 for Timber, definitely.
Right, is Kenny here? Because we've just started.
Yeah, Kenny's there now. Look, he's there.
Yeah,
look.
Yeah. All right, Kenny. Before we carry on, Raya out of 10 player rating for the game. Raya and Timber, furthermore. Then we're up to speed.
Right, Raya for me, I would give Raya very good handling and no chance for the goal. I'm going to give Raya, give him 6, 7. I don't mark high, by the way.
We can tell. High. We know you're a difficult man to please, man. Me and DJB went. Well, I went with an 8. I think DJB also went with an 8 as well. Timber went with 10 out of 10. DJB went with a 9. What are you giving Timber, Kenny?
I'm going to give Timber 7.
Oh, come on, man. 7. Probably our best player on the pitch.
I don't mark high. I'll give players. I don't mark high. This is like 7.
All right, we need you to explain your marking then, because you said you don't mark high. Why?
Reason I don't mark high. You got to remember the whole context of the game. We were in difficulties. It wasn't pitch perfect. We had some difficulties as a team, in terms of Newcastle had their periods and we had their periods, especially after Newcastle scored. And from my perspective, Timber had a good game. But when you talk about 9 out of 10 performances, it means defensively he's excellent as he normally is. But his other aspect of his job was creating chances. And he didn't create as many chances, put crosses in. It was an all-out performance. Don't get me, we had a chance, which he normally, with a header, glance header. But 7, I think that's about fair, the marking.
All right, fair. We ain't done with the back line yet, man. Let's move slightly across. Mosquera in his 45 minutes. Obviously, gave away a dumb corner, got subbed. What are you not giving him?
4.
Oh,
yeah, he was poor. His distribution was out of defence, was very shaky. He looked nervous. I think the occasion got to him. And what I will say about Mosquera, right, because everyone was bigging him up, world class, adequate replacement, this, that, and the other.
Now.
And what I saw of him, I was impressed. However, what I did say, he's not been tested, and that's why I wanted him to play against Manchester City to see what he was like on the big stage. He had his big stage yesterday. He had Newcastle away, intimidating place, very physical. He made 2 errors in his passing. He looked shaky. His positioning weren't brilliant, and he shanked the ball unpressurized that eventually led to the goal. And that's no disrespect to Mosquera. He's still going to learn. And he's got a lot to learn. You need these
games because this is how you get better.
He's going to need these games. But again, sometimes as an Arsenal fan, you just have to keep it in perspective. Quite simply, because I know a lot of Arsenal fans think that every Arsenal player are the best thing since sliced bread because they've had a couple of good games. But you've got to keep it real. Mosquera's still got a lot to learn. He's still got a lot to play. And yesterday wasn't his best game. He was found out on all levels yesterday. So I'm only going for a 4. I thought
games like this, people remember like he's 21 years of age.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying he's not going to be good. I'm not saying he's awful and he's a waste of money and everything else. But he got found out on the big stage yesterday, and he basically it was the old-fashioned stage fright. I'm afraid he looked very nervous from the start. His touch weren't good. His first touch weren't good. And, so probably a little bit hard. I'll probably go 4.5.
Very hard. 4, yeah.
I'll go 5. I think that's fair. I think 5's fair. Yeah.
Kenny, before I go.
For me, I think it wasn't his best of game, I thought I've seen him. I think for me, he did okay, but he has to learn. There's times where we're going to have to, keep him playing and then take him out of the action. And after now with Saliba coming back to some sort of fitness, I'll take him out of the action for a while. And then his next game should be against. His next game should be.
You wouldn't play him Wednesday,
right in the cup. So for me, I'm going to give him.
You didn't play him against Olympiacos Wednesday.
No.
Look, if you want Saliba to get back to his best, he has to have games. You've got to go by the same sort of function. If a player's coming back from injury, he has to have games. Just like Liverpool are doing with Isak and we're doing with Saka. Give him games. It's no good, saying, you're on a treating table, we're going to give you 90 minutes and that's it. You've got to be, in order to build up your fitness, especially your match fitness, you've got to play some sort of games. And that's why I was always for Saliba playing against, Port Vale. So for me, I'm going to give. I'm waffling a bit now, so I'm going to say I'm going to give him a. Yeah, I'll give him a 5.
Never waffling. We want to hear you lot sports.
5.
No, I'm going to give him a 5. I have to admit, between me and you, I thought it was harsh to take him off.
Same.
I thought it was very, very harsh because the message it's saying is that he's done something wrong. You're not protecting him. You're basically blaming him for the goal. But in the same sequence, last Sunday, who was at fault for Man City's goal? Did you take them off?
Yeah.
Did you take
credit in the bank? I guess.
Well, to be fair, Ireland? No, you didn't. So in that respect, it's not. You have to. I hope he has a talk with him and explains his decision, because if he doesn't, that's poor man management. But at the end of the day, that's my only negative, is that I don't like defenders getting taken off at half time. Where is it going to end? You're going to start taking goalies off at half time?
To be fair, we do ask for the manager to be proactive and an element of ruthlessness.
He was proactive. But,
have you done that?
He was proactive, but I just thought it was a bit harsh. That's all.
No, I don't think you're wrong, because I said that on my live stream. I was like, I didn't expect him to get subbed. To be fair, though, it kind of piggybacks off what DJB said, in that, maybe, Arteta did think he looked nervous and all of that. Prevention's better than cure. I think just take him off. That if it's and it worked with Saliba, just take him off. Obviously, he's going to be upset. It's never nice to get hooked at halftime, but you learn from this, innit? And even if Mascara was to, I don't think he's like that, but if he was to start crying, at the end of the day, you did play against Liverpool. You have done well. It's just keep your feet on the floor now. It just, when things are going well, you're not quite as good as you think you are. And I actually think that's got to be it, because for me personally, it must have been Arteta. Maybe he's looking into his eyes or seeing his actions. Maybe, like some players make mistakes and you can see they're still thinking about it. That's where I kind of lean towards DJB's point. For me personally, though, I agree with DJB in the sense that I don't think his passing was amazing. I don't think it was necessarily bad. Obviously, his game summed up by the corner he gave away. And then obviously Gabriel hasn't done well. After that, though, I'll give him just about a 5. I don't think he was amazing. I don't think he was terrible. Obviously, he fucked up for the goal, but I'll give you a 5. This should be interesting, though, because I actually think if we talk about Gabriel Magalhaes, it's a bit of a weird one for me. But what are you not giving Gabriel Magalhaes?
Well, the thing is with Gabriel, right, is he gets the winner. All right, he pops up, gets the winner. So everyone's only focusing on that, and we come back to how a lot of the fans are just living in the moment. But if you take his overall game, he cost us for a goal, which could have been
sent off,
which could have been the 3 points. 2
weeks in a row, Gabriel needs to. He's not alone, but wake up.
And then he tries to scam a free kick when really he lost the flight of the ball, and then he thought, oh damn. And then when he did feel the slight hand in the back, he went down. And then he tried that. He should have got at least. He was lucky that VAR never saw that, because. Not saying it would have been harsh in its handbags at 10 paces, and I don't.
He owes that Waltmate guy a couple of beers.
I don't like seeing players.
No.
I mean, the game's gone crazy nowadays when you're getting sent off for things like that. I mean, Christ, what me and Kenny see back in the day.
Yeah, you lot have seen madness. This must be a humbling experience for you.
It would make you cringe what we saw back in the day. You know what I mean? You wouldn't let anyone under 18 see it. Do you know what I mean? That's how bad it used to be. So I don't like seeing things like that. However, in this modern day football, if VAR if that had been brought to VAR's attention and they had a real good look at that, he could have
10
been
men at St James's Park's horrible.
He could have
It's
been
horrible with
sent
11.
I don't think it was one of Gabriel's best games defensively. However, he did score the winner, so it cost us the goal. He could have been sent off. It weren't one of his best games defensively. I think 7 is probably about right for Gabriel. I think.
Yeah.
And that's not me being. That's me not being biased.
6 plus a bonus point for scoring. So for me, it's 7.
Yeah, and I'm not one of these Ali McCoy's type people that just give man of the matches for goal scorers.
I said my man of the match is Timber.
It drives me absolutely nuts that just because someone scores a goal, they automatically get man of the match. That does my
the man of the match probably would have been for the media, what Gabriel or me. I know they lost,
but I don't go down that route.
Then the highlights.
So 7 for me, Gabriel.
I'm going with 7 as well. Bonus point for scoring, it would be a 6. Kenny, Mr. Harsh, Gabriel Magalhaes.
Gabriel Magalhaes, I agree with the performance. I would have given him 7 as well, but I wouldn't have given it because I thought, he did struggle a bit with Valdemar, but you know what? That's football. We love all that. We love a battle. We love him, losing his man and then trying to claim a free kick. That's what football's all about. He had a good, and he redeemed himself. The second half, he's really strong. He was involved in an incident with Elanga. We've seen it given a couple of seasons ago. That's a penalty. Now, in this day and age, it's not a penalty. So thank God for that. But second half, I thought he comes really well. When Newcastle started to play better football, and he held his own, and he got the winner. For me, 7.
So that takes us to the last member of the back 5, including Raya. Calafiori, DJB, I'll let you go because you weren't happy with his performance.
Waltzing around, just roams around, just strides around. Sometimes he gets into areas and he's literally in 2 minds constantly all the time. He's always open for that diagonal. If someone exposes him, he's on the back foot. He gives away silly free kicks. Look at the game. Look, he's the only one with a yellow card. So, you know what I mean? People were saying about the referee and how physical it was. But look, we've got 1 yellow card. So, the ref, I didn't think, apart from the penalty decision. But no, for me, it weren't one of his best games. If he's going to get in attacking positions and he's going to be that kind of invert come midfielder, he's got to show a little bit more quality than what he does. I'm going 6 with Calafiori. I think 6 is about right, to be honest.
See, I'm going 5. I think you were just cool. Like you didn't do nothing outstanding.
Yeah, I'm being really generous at 6, though. Really generous at 6.
You're really not happy with his performance, isn't it?
No, I know. I'd bring Skelly back in personally, give that little quality. If you've got Odegaard and Eze in the same team, to get that little bit of quality in that midfield, and if you're going to play Declan Rice in the 6, I'd bring Skelly back in the team.
I hear it. Kenny.
The thing with Calafiori is that Calafiori's warranted a place in the team. He has virtually shut the door down on Skelly. We're playing... He hasn't let anyone down. Defensively, he has been pretty tight, except for yesterday. There were a few Willie Young moments. But yeah, I have to admit, I would give him a 6. I thought your marking on him was a bit harsh, DG, of 5.
5 is just standard, isn't it? Like you weren't. You're cool.
There's one player that I thought played a bit worse than
you was harsher on Timber than Calafiori, but go ahead, Kenny.
There's
one player, and we need to have a discussion on him, but we're not allowed to have a discussion on him.
Who? Zubimendi?
No, it's your show. I'm the guest. I do what you want. It's not my show.
All right, we'll definitely chat. Let me know what you think. What player they're referring to. We're definitely not going to miss that out. That could be a good bit.
I'm going straight in for it.
I wouldn't know. Like you can't tell me.
You're gonna come.
SLD is messing around. He asked me that do I think Calafiori is better than Nigel Winterburn?
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Top tier trolling, man.
Aaron is SLD. Aaron is SLD. He can do better than that. Come on. Let's not get silly now, chat. Talking about putting Calafiori in the same role as Nigel Winterburn. Come on.
Yeah, there's no contest. There's no contest. That's an obvious troll. But what's this midfielder? Because if we're gonna get onto certain midfielders,
Well, I'm gonna
honest
pick
about
out
Sadio Mane.
Zubimendi. I'm going to pick out Zubimendi because I've been watching him very, very closely from day one.
Mm.
When he came to the club, I was told that he was this creative spark that we're going to need to unlock.
I didn't say that's one thing I didn't say.
Right, that he's creative and everything else. I've not seen it. I think he's missed a safety. You know, he's like the shop owner that opens up every morning on time. The manager of the store, comes along with the keys before the staff gets there, unlocks, Mr. Stafey, puts the kettle on. He gets the ball, he gives it 5 yards. You're telling me Zubimendi covers the same amount of ground as Declan Rice? I find him lazy. And I've not seen it. I've seen
Zubimendi lazy.
Yeah, I've not seen it. I want my midfielders. If you've got that role in midfield, and you see Declan Rice in that attacking third, you've got to make sure that you're also busting a gut as well to get back and everything else.
Man. Obviously, Rice is captain fantastic. It looks like he's doing it. Zubimendi.
He's not creating enough.
Much ground and win so much area duels and everything.
He's not creative enough. He's not taking players on. He's not
opening up the play.
We're talking central midfield players. I mean, I'm used to. Listen, I'm not saying he's shocking. I'm saying he's going to get better. He's going to improve. I think Zubimendi is a prime example of trying to adapt to the Premiership.
I agree with that.
Okay. Let me reword it. I think the Zubimendi is showing the prime examples of adapting to the Premiership.
It's like when Kenny said he's made.
When you see him in the Euros, when you see him playing for Spain, he looks a completely different player because he's adapted to that. He knows where he's at, etc., etc., etc. But I think with Zubimendi, he's showing all the kind of attributes of a player coming to the Premiership and just finding it hard going at the moment. He's finding the pace hard going. He gets easily barged off the ball.
It's a culture shock.
Yeah, and he gets caught in possession. He gets caught in possession quite a bit. He gets easily muscled off the ball.
What happened again?
And he's just not found his feet yet. So for me, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I'm just not seeing it from Zubimendi. I'm not seeing the creative.
I'll convert you soon, man. Don't worry. For
me at the moment, he's looking like a Spanish El Neni to me. I'm just not seeing it. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, DG, by saying I think he just needs a bit more time to adapt to the Premiership. I'm being generous, but if I don't see it by kind of December, January, and he's still kind of not creating much or anything like that, then.
But is he meant to be a creative hub, or is he meant to be like the glue for that midfield?
He's meant to be creative. I mean, what he does, he's there to retain the ball, and he's there to give an offer and retain the ball. But the problem is that's all right, retaining the ball and trying to keep possession, because when you retain the ball, you want someone to keep possession of it. The trouble is with Zubimendi, he gets closed down and he loses it. He gets caught in possession. So if that's going to happen, then it's going to cause problems. So I'm just not seeing it at the moment from Zubimendi. I'm not saying he's a bad player before everyone gets on my case. I'm not saying he's a waste of money. I'm not saying he hasn't got a role to play at Arsenal.
What you see, in your opinion.
It's just that I'm not seeing the qualities at the moment. I'm just seeing a kind of tick along, easy, not really pushing it that much, etc., etc. So I'm giving him a 6.
Fair. You know what? I thought you was gonna say a lot lower than that. I can deal with that. Kenny, Zubimendi.
Zubimendi for me came in his own before he got substituted, to the extent that I actually felt it was the thing with Zubimendi. He is what he is on the tin. He's been asked to adapt to a game, a league that doesn't suit him. But the thing with is that further down the line, when he does accumulate, like I said, get up to pace with our game, and probably, I think he'll be a better player. But I am with DJB. I was disappointed with him in against Bilbao, because I thought this is
I hear that.
his,
Yeah.
this is his stage where I think, you know what, this is where I wanted to give us more control in midfield. First half, when he was fair, he did what he could. He did try to get up the pitch. Second half, I think he tired, but for me, I'll give him a 6. But there's another midfielder that I think we need to talk about, and thankfully, I'm not the only one who's saying it now, because there's a couple of ex-players, and what they don't know about midfield being a midfielder, well, then if they don't know anything about being a midfielder, then they know nothing, because it's not just me saying it. I've had 2 ex-players have said it. I think one of them is Paul Scholes, and I think maybe Rooney, and I think we need to discuss this one.
We'll get into that. I completely disagree with you lot about Zubimendi against Newcastle. I actually think he was standard 6 out of 10.
No, don't get me wrong. I see what you mean, because you think about the towards the end, when he set up that little thing of the little dink of the outside of his foot and timber headed it.
I'm never getting over that. I love Zubimendi.
And it was good football. And there were instances when he was pushing us up the field, and I was very pleased for that. And what I think this season, we are going to see a bit of inconsistency with Zubimendi, because he is finding his feet.
Still learning each other.
Same sort of inconsistency that we saw with Marino. But I think second half of the season, when he should get a bit fitter, hopefully we'll see the best of him. But yesterday was a frenetic football, which wasn't about which suiting.
What are you giving him out of 10 then, Kenny?
Okay, I'm giving him the same mark. I'm giving him a 6.
I'd go with a 6. I agree with DJB's point about watching him closely, because obviously I like Zubimendi. I'm quite fond of him. Man United, we were poor as a team, but I feel kind of what DJB said. It's like welcome to England. It's one of them kind of games. I don't think he did well there. I think he is not alone, but I think he needed to come off against Liverpool, because that was the welcome to the Premier League. So when we stepped into this Newcastle game, I was looking at him in particular, because we know he can play football, but it's one of them. It's end to end. They're flying in. I think he did all right. I don't think he was spectacular. I think the most spectacular thing he could have done was get an assist. Timber couldn't score. I definitely share you lot sentiment in that there's more to come, and nobody's writing him off. But I hear it. I give him a 6. Declan Rice, is this the man? Is this the man you want to talk about?
Right. Let's say about Rice. First of all, Rice is a 6. He's not an 8. He's definitely a 6. I've tried to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt that he can plan an 8. But I think his best position is a 6, and then sort of, being allowed to roam in certain games. But Declan Rice in the 6, he's an ideal 6. He's not an 8 that's how I see it. What you cannot criticise for Declan Rice is yesterday his work rate was just incredible. He was up and down. He was tracking back. He was dismantling their forward in the second half there. Coming back, covering. I think there was another instance where he was clean through the Newcastle. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was Murphy.
Murphy, and he made a challenge there. So his work rate is unreal. He covers every blade of grass. He's always available to get the ball off the back 4 or Raya, and he very rarely gives the ball away. He's not the most creative of players, but he very rarely gives the ball away, And sometimes
that's what you have to take risks then, DJB, if he's going to play.
That's what you need in midfield. Sometimes you need that in midfield. Does he control it overall?
Nah.
I'm not so sure in the 8. In the 6, probably, right? Probably. The thing is with Declan Rice, he's kind of like... the thing is with Declan Rice, he's kind of like... You miss him if he's not in the team.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? You'd miss him if he weren't in the team.
You don't feel safe if he's not there, if I'm honest.
I think he's important to the team, because our other options is Moreno and Zubimendi, and that's a complete no-no. That would be an absolute car crash.
Yeah, I've seen that experiment.
Right?
I want to see that
would be a no-no. So he's one of them players that you would miss him if he weren't in the team. You can't fault his work rate. You can't fault the way he offers himself to receive the ball. I just feel that I'm starting to think now why the manager and the coaching staff are just not playing him in the 6, because I do think
Because build-up play is redundant.
They're giving him a bit of a disservice now. They're giving him a bit of a disservice playing him in the 8 because he's not going to be an 8. That is why I'd like to see him in the 6. And then, but
do you think it would help him if he played on the right-hand side in the 8 at all?
Possibly. There are times where I think he does too much. He tries to do everything. He tries to do too much. He tries to get on the ball. He tries to pass. He tries to create. He tries to tackle. He tries to run back. And sometimes I feel that he tries to do too much, and rather than do the simple things. We looked at Rice and thought he was going to be Granit Xhaka's replacement, popping up in the box, or an Aaron Ramsey, if you like, scoring goals and all of that. I don't think we're going to get that from Rice. He might chip in with the odd goal, but I don't think you're going to see him do like an Aaron Ramsey or something like that. So
only so much blood you can get from a stone with Rice in the 8. It's not
work rate alone. Defensive side of things, I thought he was really, really good. He tried to keep things ticking over. But yeah, I know where Kenny's going to come from when he comes in. I totally get where Kenny's going to come from. He's no Rodri. He's not ever going to be a Rodri.
That's why he's not playing as a 6.
I think he's got to go as a 6, though, personally. But
no, because for me, DJB, he doesn't want him there. I'm with you. I thought do you not remember the Bilbao game in pre-season? I thought Arteta this season was going to run that. Couldn't tell you if Rice was the 8 or the 6 or Zubimendi. It was just working in tandem. Rice looked comfortable in all phases, as did Zubimendi. I genuinely feel Rice's biggest strength is his engine and his defensive awareness. And you lot know yourselves, when we lose the ball, we want to win it back as quick and as high as possible.
Yeah,
that's where I think Rice goes further forward. And then when we look at build-up play, I'm with you lot. Rice is a 6, but in terms of the build-up play and being the link between defense and ultimately midfield, I don't think he's seen as someone that can consistently receive the ball under pressure.
No,
like remember when we had Marino and Rice? I think one of you said the Bilbao one.
Yeah,
it's not their strength, so we're crippled.
See, but before Kenny comes in, this is what worries me going forward with the central of our midfield. And I said this at the start. I still don't think we've got that out-and-out central midfield type kind of Paul Scholes.
You need that Rangers, that Santi, that Cess.
Rice is not creative. Zubimendi is not showing me ultra creativity at the moment. They're very, very like for like, if you know what I mean. And it's difficult. It's difficult. But Rice defensively, the amount of ground he covers, he gives you that option of receiving the ball from defence. He gives the attackers that option that if they need an out where he makes himself available.
Protection as well.
Yeah, and he gives you all of that. He gives you all of that, and that's what he does. That's why he's a 6 for me. I mean, I might be wrong, but he's an out. He's a complete number 6 for me. But I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7.
I'll give Rice an 8. I think he really came into his own in the second half.
Yeah.
First half, I thought, you're doing okay. Second half, especially when it was sink or swim and we were goal down and whatnot, I really think Rice did his thing. And Rice just does what Rice does, innit? It's weird because I do want to see, like maybe one of Rice or Zubimendi as a 6, and then you've got your Ezes, your Wanyeris, and the other guards. And I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable dropping Zubimendi because I think he's one that you will see that absence when he goes. And I definitely feel that about Declan Rice. So it's an interesting one, but it's horses for courses. Kenny, Rice, is this the man that you wanted to speak about?
Yes.
Is this the man, DJB?
I think it is. I think it is because the simple reason is that I was only flagged it. I was only flagged it last year, and I stood my ground, and I'm glad I stood my ground because for a start, I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't need subscribers. I don't need people to like my comments. I'm not going to change. I've watched football.
Hit the like button, by the way, folks.
I watch football all my life. I know a midfielder when I see one. And I think with Declan Rice, is that I think people are getting carried away because of his involvement in the first goal. Rightly so, it was a bloody good cross.
Yeah.
But in terms of his all-round game, I think the problem with Declan Rice in midfield, the things that you say he's good at isn't the complete package for a number 8. The things that you say he's good at is not a complete package for a number 6. What I saw yesterday is I didn't see either a number 8 or number 6. What we needed in that first half was with Newcastle playing on the back foot, we needed him up the field. Why did he stay up? You had Zubimendi for that. Zubimendi's job is not to Rice's job's not to take from the back four. That's Zubimendi's job. That's what he bought Zubimendi for, to take from the back four and dictate the play. We need to Rice up the field. We didn't get that. We didn't get that until, maybe where Odegaard's got the pitch. That's my issue with Rice, is that if you're playing number 8, you need to be further up the field to try and, help, the attack.
I feel 9 times out of 10 he is high up the field. Newcastle, I can excuse it
because
he
wasn't yesterday. He wasn't yesterday. He hasn't been most seasons.
No, that's what I said. Typically,
number 6. He needs to accept that he's not a number 6. The number 6 that we have in mind is someone who's, when you talk about number 6, is right. The top number 6s for me are Rodri. Before his legs went, Thomas Partey and Konrad Lima of Bayern Munich. If you watch Bayern Munich play and you see Konrad Lima, or you go and watch our game against Bayern Munich on the 26th of November, that's a number 6. That's a number 6. You're going to see a proper number 6. Declan Rice is not.
Do you think Rice is a victim of the modern game 6 though? Because obviously Kante is better than him, Makelele better than him, Makelele. But you're like a first attacker now.
The thing with Declan Rice is that we've paid £110 million for him, so it's got to work. But in the World Cup with England, Thomas Tuchel hasn't paid £110 million for him. He's going to have to find a midfield pairing that is going to be able to dictate the play. And you may find, with the emergence of people like Elliot Anderson, with the emergence of your Whartons, he may be a bench player.
Never. He ain't dropping Rice for no World Cup.
And I'm talking about a midfielder. I'm talking about another 6.
I do like Adam Wharton.
Adam Wharton's a baller.
I'm talking about Skull.
Does he do all the other aspects?
Who actually articulated the things I found about Declan Rice a lot better than I would, and he's played there. The fact is, yesterday we needed Declan Rice up the field. We didn't need it with dudes, the number 6. That's Zubimendi's job. Zubimendi's job is to stay and dictate the play, and Declan Rice was meant to be up the field.
They alternate?
But Kenny, but don't you think that's where the manager should be stepping in though? Because the manager should be turning.
Declan Rice has lifted a trophy 2 years ago.
Yeah, I understand. I totally get where you're coming from.
Climb a tree. We all knew what Declan Rice was, and there weren't going to be too much of a change.
This is where I'll come back to Zubimendi.
What is he? If he's not a number 6, number 8, what is he then?
I just think he's a centre mid, man. I think Rice is I think we get too hung up on this stuff.
I think he's got to give him.
There's only one who goes and one who holds.
Yeah, I just feel that he's got to be given
them. Is he? He's not a box-to-box midfielder, is he?
Yeah. I can understand.
Rice is not a box-to-box
see where Kenny's coming from.
Box-to-box midfielder. He's not.
So what's he?
He didn't play that yesterday. If he was a box-to-box midfielder, DG, what was he not? Why was he doing it yesterday?
Did you not see him sweeping up just outside of our box? And
what was he doing yesterday? Tell me what he was doing yesterday. Because I was watching his performance.
Did you watch the second half?
And I was asking the same question. You're giving him 8 out of 10 for a top performance, and you're giving him 8 out of 10 because he created a goal.
I gave him 7, Kenny.
In a 90-minute game.
I gave him 7 plus a bonus point. I don't know what Rice is. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what you don't want from Rice.
I'll tell you the biggest problem. I look at it, right?
And I want to know what he's good at.
Yeah,
so he can't control his price tag. Did anybody hear? Did you ever look at because I let DJB go? Did you ever look at this guy and think it's Frank Lampard, Paul Scholes, or Steven Gerrard?
Gary Neville, the commentator who was asking the same question. Man. Why not? He's played the game. He's played the game, but he's just chatting shit about Arsenal. Right. He's an engaged. Maybe, but I've been asked the same questions for a good year. Yeah. And yesterday, my worries came to fruition. We've won the game, I'm glad, but we needed Declan Rice up the field. He wasn't.
Yeah,
that's a fact. But you guys are praising him for his work rate and hard work. Yes, I was very impressed when he spotted the run of Jacob Murphy. That's fantastic. But from a number 8 position, which he plays, because we've got Zubimendi number 6.
Yeah, he's done a good job at it, and he's getting goals and assists, but he's in his mid-20s. As you said, European winning captain, played for West Ham, all these things. You're not going to change.
I'm not the only one out there.
Rice is a piano pusher. He's not a piano
player. Let me just make this point, right?
I believe Kenny's on Therese.
With me, there's both sides, right? I can see where Kenny's coming from, right? but then I can see where I'm coming from, because this guy, when he came to the club, really thought that he was going to team up with the likes of Granit Xhaka and all of that. Then Xhaka got sold. Then he had a party that was in and out injured.
At one point, Jorginho was his best partner.
When Party had a good run in the team and Party was bang on it, we weren't really having these. Kenny was still concerned, but we weren't really having these conversations about Declan Rice. You know what I mean? Now he's got Zubimendi in the team. This is where it comes down to the coaching staff and the manager, because I think Declan Rice should be given a specific role, right? Now, whether that's a 6 or whether that's an 8, but he should be given a specific role. And that's why I revert back to sometimes he does too much, you know? He wants to be the 8, then he wants to be the 6, then he wants to get in front of the back 4, then he wants to try and create. And when he's doing all of this, we haven't got him in the positions where we need him. I understand where Kenny's coming from. So he's got to be given a specific role. Now, whether that role is a 6 or an 8, that's up to the coaching staff. I think he can play both, personally. He might be better in one than the other, but he's got to be given that specific role. And that's what I mean about Zubimendi. What does Zubimendi do? Because at the moment, Zubimendi and Rice are not, they're not the bride and groom. They're not matched.
Ain't that expected though? Because like, I don't know how many. They've probably played 5-6 games together though. Ain't that expected?
But this is what I'm trying to say. But what I'm going to say, the coaching staff or Mikel, he's got to turn around and go, right, I don't want Rice getting the ball off the back 4. Zubi, that's your job. I want you to control the ball from our defensive lines, and I want Rice further up the field. Someone's got to make that decision, because at the moment they're not doing it. And
I think
Rice,
they should alternate, if I'm honest.
And if you look at Rice, what he's trying to do, he's trying to be here, there, and everywhere. And he can't do it.
That's what DJB. That's what Gerrard was doing. That's what Gerrard was doing at Liverpool, and that's one of the reasons why they had to play Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then Gerrard was given a specific role, and then you saw what Gerrard was all about. I think he's got to be sat down and gone, right, if he plays in the 6, this is what I want you doing. If he plays in an 8, this is what I want you doing. But Zubimendi has got to complement that, and he's got to be that man that Rice is not going to be, you know. And at the moment, it's all a little bit disjointed. But yeah, I can understand where Kenny's coming from with Rice. He's even not. How can I say? He's a kind of either one or the other, and that's where the manager comes in. All I'm saying about Rice is, at the moment, he is that engine in midfield. Whether he's an 8 or a 6, you cannot fault his work rate, and at the moment, that's what we need. And his delivery from corners, and when he does get space and he puts in a cross, it's needed. But for me, he's got to be given a specific role, and he hasn't got that at the moment.
You know, I haven't even given him a mark yet.
Yeah.
Well, I gave him a 7.
Well, I'll give him an 8. I'll give him a 6. Give him a 6.
Yeah.
At least you're consistent with Zubimendi and Raz. I think you lot are harsh. Like, obviously, at the end of the day, I hear you. Go on.
What I'm trying to say is that further down, remember, we were told last week when we were pessimistic, I think, and we were right, and everyone was right. We were being pessimistic because Liverpool did lose Crystal Palace, and we did win, and it's now down to 2 points, and we game by game. I do think that furthermore, I would like Declan, if he's playing at number 8, to get further up the field, to get in a situation where goals have been a bit of a premium. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, we haven't conceded as much goals as Liverpool, and probably I don't know how many goals. If we score more goals than Liverpool, or is it neck and neck? What I'm trying to say, we can't rely on just one person for goals. We can't rely on Gyökeres for goals. We need goals from all over the place. And I like my number 8 to get on the I like my number 8 to, you know, come back.
Rice did that last season. The season
goal difference is better.
Liverpool
+5, we're +9.
Fair enough.
What from Rice? If he's playing at number 8, I want.
And if we're looking at Rice to get goals as a
want at least
demand,
10 league and cup goals. I want at least 10 league and cup goals from him.
He'll get that. That's Declan twice. He'll get that. For me, it's a thing where it's a weird one because on one hand, obviously Arteta knows more about football than me. I understand the way he might be playing. Even if he played in a 6 at Arsenal, it's very different to West Ham. For me, I looked at Rice. We know what he's like. He's combative. He's not a dribbler. He's more of a carrier. All those kind of things. So for me, I just want to see all of that in an Arsenal shirt. Now, if you go and get goals and assists, that's a bonus. Obviously, you're clearly intelligent and you've given a good go at trying to play in the 8. I just worry for Rice that you didn't become a footballer for, what Paul Scholes. We're trying to make him that. Huh?
The problem with Declan's problem is that if you have him in number 6, he's not as good as Rodri. He's not as good as Conrad Lima. In terms of
Lima, man.
No, he's not. Conrad Lima's a top. If you watch Conrad Lima,
he is a top player. But put Rice in Bayern and put that guy over here. We'll see.
I'm sorry. I can't go by that.
That's European tax. Rice is mustard.
I can't go by that. Oh yeah, my Baldwins are better than their Baldwins. Sorry, what from the eye?
And then people are saying just because he costs 105 million, we need bare goals. Did we watch Rice at West Ham? He had that great run in the Conference League. Yeah. But whenever man looked at Rice to get goals and assists, he's never been that. If we were all playing Sunday League right now, we're looking at, and I'm the striker, we're looking at Rice to break lines. Would you make runs if Rice has the ball?
But if that was another player and that was another number 8, another club, and you saw the goal return, you'll expect the same. Why can't we expect
Rice
the same?
Rice is getting goals and he's going to get goals, but I can't. I find it quite silly. I can't ask Rice to split line. It's like me asking Odegaard to win duels and all of that. Like, you're not them guys.
But going by yesterday's game, he didn't play as number 8. Going by in terms of like the number 6s out there, he's not a Rodri. The 2 number 6s that we had previous to Declan are better than him. It was agreed that Thomas Partey was deemed by the manager to be a better number 6 than Declan. The player that we just bought from Sociedad is deemed to be a different number 6. But he's deemed to play in that position.
One day we're going to be honest about Thomas Partey. One day we need to be honest about Thomas Partey. Quality player, apart from the off-field crap. He didn't carry us nearly enough as Rice.
But you have to. If you're going to want an honest conversation, if you're going to want an honest conversation about Thomas Partey, well, let's have an honest conversation about the guy born in Kingston upon Thames who played for the Islands up until the World Cup.
What's I got to do with this?
I'm just saying. I'm just doing what you're doing. Let's have a conversation.
Because I think you're being harsh on Declan.
Nice. Let's have the same conversation. That's what we're here for.
I think Arsenal got 99 problems. Rice ain't one of them. Nah,
I hear what you're saying. What I'm trying to say right now is that people are saying he's a number 6 when he's been playing number 8. All I'm saying is that if he's a number 8, there's going to be some games we're going to need him up the field. We needed him up the field yesterday.
I hear that. But he's been doing that though, man.
That's why I couldn't give him an 8.
Don't you remember last season when we were kind of down in the dumps and he was getting the goals? He was the run making that run into the box.
And I praised him for that because he was playing as a number 8. I praised him for that. You have to go game by game. You have to be consistent because unfortunately, what happened when every game Arsenal we have this season is going to be like analysed, not just by us, by everyone else, and it's going to be situations where you look at last week. Our emotions were like down there. We've won; they're up there. Right? The first two games of the season, our emotions, especially when Goycrest got his brace, was up there. And then we played Liverpool, because we didn't like the team line up. And then when we played Nottingham Forest, which I believe was our best performance of the season, up. And then we were really excited about Man City because we thought that we're gonna slam them.
Damn.
And it went. And now
that's what it is. It's roller coaster FC.
That's what we do every week in this show. People want consistency. You're not going to get it because it's going to be determined on the match. I've got to be fair to myself, and because the other day, I'll tell you one thing: if I was to not be myself, the chat will have no respect for me.
Nah, man, we always say we never. Kenny Ken and DJB never change. You're here to say what you believe.
No. We say what we believe. That's what we believe. Whether people agree or not agree, I think Rice has got to be given a Pacific role. to
Why
improve.
are people comparing Cesc Fabregas and Rice? But go on, DJ.
No.
What
You
the
can't.
fuck?
Don't go down that madness. Cesc Fabregas was just levels, man. I mean,
Well, Rice is more
technically
loyal.
not. They're two
Rice is
different
more loyal.
centre mids.
Rice is more loyal.
please, you can't talk about our future manager like this.
At least Rice is loyal.
Cesc
See
is
what
coming
you
to
did there,
town one
DJB.
day. Kenny's going to hate it.
Rice ain't loyal, man. Loyalty don't exist in football, man. Big him up. Like,
You say that again about Cesc Fabregas. You say that about Cesc Fabregas types.
I'm giving Saka. I'm going to move on. I'm going to give Saka. I thought he had a good first half. Tries to make things happen.
I think it's a 5, just about.
Now, Saka is.
He was good for 40 minutes.
Key. If we're going to win this league, we have spent all this money, and Saka is still our most important player. And the evidence is really, really clear. You know, this is what I'm trying to say. Arsenal Football Club, and whether the chat likes it or not, the gas up Gyökeres and everything else, who, by the way, I think he's struggling at the moment, to be honest, to meet the demands of the Premiership. And that was my fear with Gyökeres, but we'll get on to him in a minute. Saka is still our main player. If Saka's on it and he's playing well and he's fully fit, Arsenal look a different team. Simple as that. He makes things happen. So I'm for his first half. He ain't fully fit though. He's still not. I'm giving him an 8. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10.
Oh, Saka, I'm not gonna lie, it's a 5 still. I think he was good for 40 minutes. I think you need to come off, if I'm honest. He was a threat. He was part of a good attacking bit of play. You know,
yeah,
you kind of
made
it kind of happen for Gyökeres. I don't think.
I'm not sitting on the fence.
That's a generous 8.
Yeah,
I have empathy for both of what you guys.
You know
said.
What? 6 Saka.
I've got empathy for you, DJB, but I've got a lot of empathy for what DG said as well. Because when I look at what DJB saying, when I saw the game, as much as we've admired what Madueke has done for us since he's been inside, he hasn't let us down.
It's not Saka.
My brother kind of mentioned it, that when you see Saka, it's something different. Like he said something about it's more polished. What Saka does, and that Saka's just presence tends to scare the opposition. There was one instance in the first half when we were on top. I thought Saka, was really, really like giving them, Livramento a run for his money. He really gave him a run for his money, and he was getting in behind. He had that shot with his right foot that was forced to save from Pope, and then he put some crosses in. Obviously, Pope had the game of his life. In fact, it's an injustice for us to even talk about Arsenal man of the match. The man of the match was playing for a different club and was in goal for them. You just have to be honest.
I don't know about that, Kenny. I can't lie to you. I don't know.
We win that game comfortably.
Yeah, but a lot of our shots, it was poor finishing, if I'm honest.
I don't know. Yeah, even so, that save from Eze, which basically he didn't catch it cleanly.
Good save, but
even so, those go in the back of the
net with not getting sent off.
That's what does keepers. The fact is that the saves he made yesterday, I thought he was their man. He was the man of the match, but that's relative. But in terms of Saka, I've got empathy for what you said, DG, in that in the second half he faded, and it was a situation where he needed to come off because he wasn't bringing anything to the game. So I have to go in between the 8 and a 5 and give it a 6.
Probably 7 for me then.
Yeah, I revised my.
Probably a 7. Probably a 7 if I'm being realistic. 7. It's
I
just
going to be a bit biased towards Bukayo. I'll give him a 6.
You know what Madueke needs to learn from Saka? Be a bit selfish. Go for goal. Have shots and goal. Because that's what Saka would do. Be a goal scorer.
That's the IQ and the decisiveness like this.
That's
what Saka has that many don't.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Saka has got that IQ. That's why he's a top player, and that's why he is the one, if not the best right-sided forward in this country, and up there with the right-sided forwards in Europe because of that. But Madueke,
someone say that puts him on a world-class level, Kenny. But go on.
Please. Anyway,
No, he's not
Madueke
Ignore
can
me.
learn from Saka, because you know one thing about if Madueke wants to be a top player, he's got to be selfish. You've got to see more of the same that we saw against Serbia. When he plays for Arsenal, he has to, at situations forget he's trying to sort out his play. If there's a situation where he has to shoot and he has to work the goalkeeper, but then bloody take it. Don't try and please. It's your career, you know what I mean? That's why I like Saka, because Saka, if there's an opportunity and he knows Gyökeres might be in a great position, what he'll do is he uses Gyökeres as a decoy, shoots at goal, boom, 1-0 Arsenal. That's what sets Saka apart from a lot of players.
Do you think the managers, obviously Saka's earned that in it, so Saka's obviously developed, but just as you mentioned that, Kenny, to be fair to Noni, do you think Saka's kind of earned that right, or the managers has said to him, listen, I'm giving you these tactics, but if the shot's on, do it? Noni might not have that yet, or is it a confidence thing?
You know what his mentality's got to be? This is a mentality that a player should have. When you come to one of the top clubs in the country, top clubs in Europe, there's no such thing as being safe. The reason why we book your ball, I'm saying the royal we buy you, is because
you're a good player.
This is what we do. Because we're one of the best teams in the country, we have to be on the front foot. I bought you because I want you to be on the front foot. I bought you because I want you to draw a pass to your man. I bought you because I want you to make a forward pass that's going to lead to a chance. I didn't buy you to play sideways. I didn't buy you that where you're in a. That's not what I bought you for. You don't pay £55 million or £52 million for a player, and then he's not taking risks. You've got to take risks at Arsenal. You have to. To be a top player, you have to take risks. You have to score your hard chances. You have to score your hard chances, as well as your chances. You have to shoot early. Yeah, Tim, you're right. I think Tim's right. That's it. Obviously,
does Rice suffer from the old expression, "Jack of all trades, master of none"?
The trouble is that he's not quite a dibbly.
He needs to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah, but you know what? He's not quite in a dibbly-dobbly stage of
No, it's not Trossard.
Trossard's a dibbly-dobbly.
No.
Trossard's a dibbly-dobbly.
Poor man.
Rice is not that kind. Rice is a jack of all trades, but Trossard is a dibbly-dobbly.
Eze, do you know what? I thought Eze's first half was good. He looked real quality in the first half, getting on the ball, making things happen. He had a couple of good shots where the keeper was full, done some good saves. I think especially the one where he driv it low and he sort of,
he was wrong foot in
the post. He looked really good. He looked really, really good in the first half, Eze. Second half, he faded out a little bit, didn't he? I don't know. I don't know what he was. I didn't quite know what his role was in the second half.
You know what? I think Newcastle were on top though. Newcastle were on top for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were. And we started. And I think what done Eze is when we come out, the first, I don't know if you realise, Kenny, but the first sort of 10, 15 minutes, we slowed the game down again. We weren't playing with that intensity. We started to play possession-based football. And it just don't suit these players. You can tell as soon as he slows the game down, you can tell that a lot of these players, it's not suited to them. That's why we have to play. I think quick passing and all that, and it don't suit Eze to play this possession slow.
I do make you right, but I think what it was is that the temperature. I think what we did is when we came out for the second half. Remember, we were on top, and then we didn't get the penalty we deserved, and then Newcastle scored, and that had a period when they were on top. And I think what we did is when we came out for the second half, what we did is that we lowered the temperature, and then when the temperature is lowered, we can get back on top. But I think with Eze, one thing I was impressed with the manager, very impressed, that he didn't take Eze off. He didn't take Gyökeres off. He was very. He brought on these substitutes. He's attacking.
He got Super Mick Arteta. Go on though.
Yeah, but he kept on. He kept on Eze. He kept on Gyökeres. I was very impressed with that because some managers are so dumb and so obvious that they go like for like. When
I thought Marino for Gyökeres, to be fair, would happen before the game.
If you look at the 24 hours before that at Crystal Palace, Slot did the same thing. where he did take off his attackers. He said, right, I'm going to put more on, let's put more pressure.
Yeah.
And it nearly came off. He got his equaliser. He tried to go for the winner, and then, you know, someone had a bozo gene and let Eddie Nketiah get the winner. And now
good finish from Eddie as well, to be fair. Shout out him.
Yeah, but what we did yesterday was the same sort of thing. And that's why, in terms of Eze, that this is what I was trying to say about Eberechi. And this is my point about like-for-like players. There's no such thing as like-for-like. Eze cannot play the Odegaard role the way Odegaard plays. Odegaard can't play like Eze. Odegaard's got the vision. He gets lots of quick passes. Eze likes to go past his main. He likes to get in.
That's why they got to play together. That's why I said that's why I say put Odegaard in the 8 and Eze in the 10.
Yeah, that could. Yeah, but then you'll leave it out to Zubimendi then.
Yes, I want to leave out Zubimendi. He ain't up with it yet. He's not up with it yet, Kenny.
We know once Odegaard's fit, Eze's going left.
Rice in the 6, Odegaard in the 8, Eze in the 10, and let's do some damage.
I think with Odegaard likes to, you know, get the ball off the midfielder when it's lent back to him, and he likes to get close to Saka, whilst Eze likes to go past his main, and then he likes to get in goal-scoring positions.
The thing is with
where he can find space to have a shot from 25 yards. Yeah. That's what we bought him for. But I thought yesterday, you're right. I thought he had a good game. I'm going to give him a 7.
No, I'm going to give him a 7, Eze. I'm going to give Eze a 7. I'm giving Eze a 7. That's where I'm at with Eze. 7. That slow pace possession build-up don't suit Eze. It has to be quick. We have to get the ball into transition really, really quickly. And
that's the one thing. Sorry to cut you, DJB. That's the one thing I think Odegaard's got the ability to do it, but I've seen it twice in a week now. Eze sees it, done it, clip it over the top.
Sees it. Exactly.
Odegaard waits.
No, Odegaard waits. And I understand what Kenny's saying about Odegaard, but the fact is, Odegaard for the last 2 seasons has been really, really poor in the 10. He's been really, really poor. He came on yesterday in the 8. He came on yesterday, had a bit of a free roll. Eze sort of takes that responsibility away from him, and you saw signs of the old Odegaard yesterday. You know, you saw signs of the old Odegaard of 2022, 2020, 21, 22.
Don't write him off yet, man. He's coming back.
You know, so for me, if you're playing at the Emirates against teams like West Ham, and no disrespects to West Ham or anyone else, if you're playing at the Emirates, you do not need to play Zubimendi and Rice.
You can always bring them on.
You can put Rice in the 6 and you can play Eze in the 10, Odegaard in the 8. That's the lineup I would like to see against West Ham.
You know what? You're right, DJ.
It ain't going to happen, though.
DJB and DG, I think team selection is going to be very interesting because Eze's performance in that first half warrants him playing in the position I think he should be playing. I think on the left-hand side, it's not going to happen.
Still a problem, though, isn't it?
But you've
got a bunch of men that can play the left wing, but there's no one you can put your hat on for the whole season.
Yeah, but you got to segue to Trossard because despite my calling,
I think people are quite harsh on Trossard. I'll be ruined these last 2 games.
I thought his first half was very good. I was very pleased with him.
No, I just don't think he does enough for me.
I agree with that, DJB.
When I'm looking at a left winger, I'm looking at wingers to be really active and constantly making that fullback ask the questions. And Trossard don't do it for me.
But that's the problem, DJB, because you're not going to get that from Eze, Trossard, or a number of options.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm still saying. This is why I'm saying that on the left is weak. This is why when Madueke comes back from fitness, Madueke on the left, Saka on the right, Eze 10, Odegaard in the 8.
You know that means
at the Emirates. I'm not saying when we go away to some tricky places, but at the Emirates, definitely. That's what I
think that's where Mikel's going to want to play Noni, because he's going to want a situation where, if needs be, Noni and Saka could interchange.
I want to see that. I don't know why we don't swap positions. I even think we could get away with Eze playing left wing if we do a lot of that rotation. Rice can even come into the forward.
I'm giving Trossard a 5.
Do you not agree with this comment that he was awful? Awful isn't.
I wouldn't say he's awful.
Surely that's an exaggeration. Awful is mad.
5.
I think maybe I'm getting my own looks at the when he hit the post, and you get it. I'll give him a 6
Yeah,
because
same.
I thought the second half was forgettable, and I was very surprised that he stayed as long as he did. To be honest, I was surprised.
Gyökeres is the one for me, man.
I give him a 7. You know.
Yeah, his work rate. His work
man.
rate was incredible. Trying to
I think
link
he busted.
up.
I think he busted several guts yesterday. I think he worked his ass off at St James's Park.
One small criticism. I'll give you the 7. One small criticism. If Gyökeres wants to score a bag full of goals in this league, he's got to shoot early. There's one instance in the first half.
Decision making. That's why I don't think it's a thing where you can say we didn't create.
Where he cut onto his left foot, and I thought, hang on here, Harry Kane smashes that. Harry Kane and Shearer,
when your camera was acting, DJB said that as well.
Yeah. So Harry Kane shoots early. Mbappe shoots early. All the top strikers, Haaland shoots early. Saka, see what Saka did when he was in that position? He shot and forced a save. And I think there was an incident in the second half. He did it again. There's another one where I think with Gyökeres where he slipped. So you can't really criticize on that.
And it kind of hit his other boot type of thing.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 for his work rate, but his decision making. Someone said it in the chat. His decision making has to be better, especially when he gets, especially when he does
goals. If he wants to score goals and a bag full of goals, he's going to have to shoot early.
Yeah,
100%. You know, in Portugal, in Lisboa, he had time. At Coventry, he has time. In the Premiership, no way.
You need to know what you're doing before the ball even comes to you. That's why I think yesterday I can't say it's no chances were created. I still don't think we're creating a bundle of chances for the guy, but you had ample chances that you could have scored regardless of the penalty thing. Well, but I think your work rate's there. You're looking better every game. You just like you said, decision making, Gyökeres.
Yeah, but you know what's happened? It's half chances as well. You've got to realise the top strikers.
You take them. That's why I'm saying you can't say we never created. You had some chances. Yeah. You remember when we signed him, in August or maybe even September, when we really started doing these shows consistently? I said to you, look, when we was all like talking about Gyökeres, the thing that got me was what you just said there, Kenny, like the unglam. Of course, if you look at his highlights on YouTube, different sorts of bangers and whatnot, but it's them instinctive ones. Just get on your left bang. I need to see that because that's going to make a world of a difference at this club. He is quite ugly to watch. I'll say that. I won't lie. He's not.
But we've still got to find a way to be a little bit more creative, though. There's still a lot of we've still. He hasn't had that kind of through ball or that kind of cutting pass, you know what I mean?
He may not get that. He may not get that. Arsenal.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So he's not going to get that. So he's got to find a different way. Whether that's just sort of like hanging around in the box and we've got to get crosses in, I don't know. Perhaps we've got to get the crosses in a little bit earlier. Perhaps he's got to sort of, look on the edge of the box for cutbacks, something different. But at the moment, it's just his decision making is a little bit. Yeah, it's just not there at the moment. Not there.
Do you remember Shearer? You know, like when you see Kane and Shearer. Whenever you see Kane and Shearer, you look at some of the goals they've scored over the years. It's goals from 25 yards out, sometimes 20 yards out, long shots from distance. And I think with Victor, he's got to be in a situation like similar to what his goal against Leeds, where he had to think, you know what. This is what I've got to do now.
No, look at the space with that one there, Kenny. Man.
Yeah, but I think what he's has to do is that if chances are at a premium, you're going to have to when you get a half chance, just whack it, have a go. And I think yesterday he kind of missed a boat yesterday.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't disagree with that. I just think the one thing I'll say with Gyökeres. You're getting better every game, but I can't lie. If you do not get better soon, we might have to have some conversations. I've accepted you're definitely an ugly footballer to watch, but you know when Havertz is fit, him, Marino, their options. I think Gyökeres goes
exactly.
Which is why I want him to back. So you can't be dropped. You're scoring so many goals. Arteta can't do the overthinking stuff because that was my biggest fear about Newcastle. In that we all said it. We want to see Eze in the 10. We probably expect to see Marino. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Mikel Arteta took a leaf out of Barcelona's book and how they won over there. But I wanted Eze to play well purely because obviously I'm not saying the manager's this naive, but if it went left, that might confirm to him, maybe if I played Marino or did the other same processes, these things work. So that's what I want. Like I want you to need to keep doing your thing to force Mikel Arteta to change, innit? Let's talk about the subs then, because that's the 11. We used all 5 subs. What are you not saying for Miles Lewis-Skelly? I personally think his decision making on occasion could have been better, but decent cameo. I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, it's typical. He
rough.
he tried to get in the game, didn't he? Couple of decision making here and then. I'd go with a 6. Yeah, definitely. 6.
You know what it is with Miles. I like him, but the football coach in me and the head coach in me will still select Calafiori over him on a basis because of Miles, because I look at Calafiori and he hasn't really let me down. I think it's nice from Miles because he's had a good season, but it was always a situation with when one of your main signings last season is fully fit. You do segue towards starting him as ahead of the kid.
You just have to stay ready. You just have to stay ready because like Calafiori ain't put a foot wrong. You just maybe have to hope Arteta changes his dynamics. Or obviously, none of us here want Calafiori's form to drop. But if Calafiori starts thinking up the place, you get your spot, grab it, hold on to it, really and truly. And we've seen elements of that this season. We probably will see elements of it. But you're right, man. At the end of the day, it's an Italian international. He's fit. I'm a big fan of sometimes you've got to play on that momentum. Like, I don't want Calafiori to get cold. I think it's clear to me he's kind of one of them footballers. You know, some footballers could be out and they just come back in. It's great. He kind of needs a run in the side. So you're right. Where we at with Mikel Merino? Give him a 10, if I'm honest. Like, the minutes you played, you made the impact, didn't it? Like, minutes adjusted.
Got his goal. That's what Mikel does, isn't it? He does exactly what he says on the tin. He doesn't start for me in 11. He's ideal to come off the bench. He's ideal to kind of try and get something, make something happen. He's not an Arsenal midfield player. He's just, you know, how he plays internationally.
He is under Arteta.
Arsenal. For me, he's not an Arsenal midfield player. He just doesn't do it for me. But yeah, I mean, come on, he took his goal well. What can you say? What can you say about him? He scores goals, you know, so... Yes, you got to give. I mean, he hasn't played the full game, is he? So I'm giving him a 7 for the goal.
Yeah, because he didn't play the full game. 7, minutes. Go on, Kenny.
I'll give him because he changed the game with his goal. I'll give him a 6. As you know, I don't mark that high anyway. But the thing with Merino, I can't help but like the guy.
I like him. You just need to be part of the squad rather than starting all the time.
The thing is that. The thing with Mikel Merino, I think with Mikel Merino, there's players like him and Kai. As much as I call him tactically disruptive, and I think Kai is...
There's a use for them across the season.
I do understand more in Merino than Kai why he starts certain games because of it. I think the thing with Merino, and I think Kai as well, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're not drawn towards them is because they are your archetypal horses for courses guys.
Exactly.
Horses for courses midfielders are not pleasing the eye, but they do a job and they're effective.
There's a role
when you're at Arsenal Football Club, you need more than effective. You tend to fall in love with the skill players,
and I think Arteta overplays on these kind of tactical numbers, as you're saying.
But you are grateful towards like Merino because of his the fact that he's a horses guy. But for me, the problem is that to win the league, you would, for me, to win the league, you do need people like Mikel Merino. You do, don't you? And
these man might only score 5 goals a season, but it might be them tight 1-1 games. Similar fashion to Newcastle.
You do need, and I know I hate myself for saying this. I probably need to, basically like horsewhip myself. But there's times when we are kind of missing Kai Havertz, not because of the way he plays, because of the option he gives us, especially when Gyökeres, is struggling for goals.
Ready to see Havertz in the Eze Odegaard role.
For instance, if Kai Havertz was fit yesterday, and say Gyökeres started, and you brought Kai Havertz on, and you brought all those guys on, you kind of thought, you know what, Kai might nick a goal for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're the game for the guy when it's just a fight.
Sometimes in teams, there's players that you just don't want starting, but are happy for him to come off the bench and just try and just be that different option. But Marino don't start week in, week out for me in midfield. No, he's ideal to come off the bench, I suppose. You know, throw up top, get his head on something.
I just don't like
Who's sure?
Oh, Shirley's someone that I get on my platform, man. She's an Arsenal fan. The chat's just being dumb. She ain't been on the channel in a while. Don't fall for the bait. They're just being foolish. Ignore them.
Yeah.
It's SLD say justice for Shirley. She'll be back, folks. She'll be back. Don't worry. I'll get her on the platform. Just tranquillo. Right now it's DJB and Kenny Ken. So what? Martinelli.
Didn't see enough. 5.
No. Exactly. Ineffective.
5.
You know,
surprisingly ineffective, but he looked like a Colts player when he came on.
Yeah.
In that
he weren't a finisher, was he?
He's the kind of player that, you know, when a player comes in and they just get in the way.
You know, he's not that finisher, man.
No, he's not.
He's not the finisher.
Yeah.
Odegaard for me, I was impressed.
Hey, now it gets interesting.
Very impressed.
I was impressed, and this
9
says
out of 10 mustard.
Yeah, listen.
Don't give up on him.
Well, for a substitute
for a reason.
10 minutes.
No. Listen, I'm not going to go mad over him. I'm not going to go mad over him. But what he done, he looked busy. He came on. He changed slightly the dimension of the game a little bit.
Look what DJB said.
They were worried about him. He was dropping deep, and he
Eddie Howe waxing lyrical about him.
He put a couple of balls through. But listen, I'm not going to get overexcited because we all know what Odegaard's been doing for the last 2 years. Same as I'm not getting overexcited about this result because we've been here before. We've been here before, and then come what may, it all falls to pieces. So it's a good result. I'll give Odegaard a 7. It's a good result. The manager got it right for a change, but the manager also gets a lot of things wrong. Otherwise, we'd be winning leagues, wouldn't we? So if he got this right all the time, week in, week out, we'd be having Champions League finals. We'd be having Premiership titles. The fact of the matter is, because the manager doesn't get it right all the time, is where we are and where we are. So yesterday, all went well, got it right. What can you do against Olympiacos and West Ham? Because they're the games. West Ham at home, Fulham away.
Fulham after that as well, after the break.
Yeah.
Then we got
banana skins.
Then we've got some tricky little away games with teams that have got nothing to lose, that are just riding high at the moment. Sunderland, for one, got to go there.
What would you say about DJB? What would you say about Crystal Palace? Because they haven't lost this season.
Incredible.
Nasty team.
They haven't lost for 18 games.
Absolutely incredible.
See, we're
looking at players like Gyökeres and Mateta. Well, who's the better player at the moment?
Mateta.
There you go.
And how did he look under his previous manager?
Who's the other one? Is it Sasse or someone that?
Sar.
You know, right? Sar. Look at him. Look at him and the likes of Trossard. Right. Look at Wharton. Yeah. Look at Adam Wharton over Zubimendi, and you know what I mean. So,
right back with Manus. Was it
right back? I mean, we're picking out players for Crystal Palace that are currently on form better than our main men. So you got to give credit where credit's due. But they got a good manager, haven't they? They got. Look what he's done.
Won't be there long, respectfully.
Look what he's done. Look what he's done.
His phone's probably 24/7.
Whether they're going to be there, or thereabouts. Mind you, we said this about Leicester, wasn't it? But years ago, they won't be there. Don't worry. They'll draw.
Yeah, but they draw too many games. Don't you think Crystal Palace draw too many games?
Yeah, no, Crystal Palace are going to be there or thereabouts.
They're a point behind us, aren't they?
Listen. They blew Liverpool away in that first half.
Yeah.
They should have been 3 or 4, 5-0 up. Now,
even that effort when Mateta clipped the post, I was like,
look at the madness the Liverpool goalkeeper was doing on Saturday. That was crazy.
Yeah, Alisson kept him in the. That's why he earns that money.
Yeah,
earned his keep.
When we talk about us dominating the game, that Newcastle Pope weren't making them sort of saves that.
I'll make you right.
That's what I'm saying. It's more of a case of
So let's just keep our feet on the ground, guys. We've done the business.
You're right. I think we're looking too further down the road. When you look at
We
if you want to
get
go
too,
to fixtures,
too emotional.
You've got Olympiacos, which is a different game. Where, let's face it, I think the most passionate thing about Olympiacos is going to be their fans. Whether Olympiacos turn up,
yeah, and I sit right near them, Kenny. They're going to be in my end.
I
you know what they do? You know what they do? Where I sit, they have all their gold away travel members, and we have to have an allocation of seats. So 4 or 5 rows down where I sit, they will have Olympiacos fans in our stand.
Right, hey, most of them will be coming from like Wood Green and Palmer's Green anyway. Yeah. It's true, isn't it?
It's where you get your kebabs from, Kenny.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Serious street community. They're all going to be in there, man.
Seriously, man. They're going to be
a lot of
loud.
Greek North Londoners conflicted. If I'm honest with you, on Wednesday,
we played Besiktas about. I think it was about
going to be loud
in the Champions League.
Even
must
that.
Be 9 years ago, we played Besiktas, and there's this kebab shop, and it's not a stereotype. This kebab shop, you know, just off Stoke Newington, off Blackstock Road, Stoke Newington.
Best kebab.
Yeah, it's called Best Kebab, but it's in Stoke Newington. It's Stokey. So, and by the way, it's one of the best kebab shops in North East London. Anyway, I looked at him and he told me that he supports Fene. He supports Fene. And all of a sudden, I went to the weigh-ins because I like to nose around. And I went, "Oh my God, what are you doing here? I thought you support Fene." He says, "I'm Turkish." I said, "Oh yeah, Best Kebab." I said, "All right, can I have a number 10, please?" can I have a number 10?
Oh dear.
But you know, whenever our cousins from you know, a Turkish club, you know, when we have Galatasaray, Beşiktaş, Fenerbahçe, and Olympiacos, I can't wait to get to ground early. I just love having them there.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
I can't stand it when the away fans bring nothing to the table. I want away. That's why, God bless their soul. But when Burnley and Bolton used to come to the Emirates, and they used to bring about, they used to take up their allocation. It just left me cold.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean?
European nights with them sort of teams, Olympiacos and all that, are just brilliant.
I can't wait for
PSG, man. Oh, they just.
You know, I can't wait for Bayern Munich.
I remember Lons a few years ago as well.
Yeah, be good.
Bayern Munich. I'm looking forward to Bayern Munich when they come along as well, because I think they're going to be passionate. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Be good.
Super Bayern. Hey.
You're going to want a prediction there. You're going to want a prediction there, DG, aren't you?
Yeah, you know what? Let's get into it. In fact, before that, somebody said it in the chat. I've been trying to remember it. Obviously, quickly Saliba rating, and then Mikel Arteta, and then let's get into that stuff.
Saliba, hey,
6.
He looked a bit shaky when he first come on, didn't he?
Yeah, that first touch.
With Saliba, Saliba is key, man. Saliba is elite. He's an elite centre half,
and he's just about to sign a new deal.
He's elite centre half. Trouble is with Saliba, he's one of them players that kind of has to be in the game from word go. He's not the sort of player that you bring on. You know what I mean? Most centre halves, they like that. They like to start, don't they? It's very difficult for a centre half to come on. So, but yeah, he done all right. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6, man.
You know what?
He dealt with a lot.
What are we going to give the manager?
10 out of 10. What do you get wrong?
I'm giving the manager an 8. I'm giving the manager an 8 because his team selection was to my liking, and his substitutions. I liked his substitutions. You know what I mean? And I think it's not because they work, because because he was there to not just get a point, he's there to win the game.
I'll tell you what
about he done it yesterday, innit? So I'll give him a 10.
I will give the manager his points yesterday. I'll give him his 8.5/9 for the substitutions and the fact that he was proactive for a change rather than reactive.
Exactly what I'm saying. 10 for me.
Which makes a change for this manager. However, as I said to you before, we've been here before. We've had some brilliant times with this football manager and certain games. But as much as you're a high, you can easily be bought.
I just need him to learn, man, because you're doing the things that we've asked you to do.
Does he learn? Does he
Please.
learn? Because come next week against West Ham, you could see all sorts of madness. So let's just
when this is like crazy being an Arsenal fan.
Let's just
keep it real. Let's just keep it real.
You know the West Ham game.
Yeah.
Are we placing a lot of emphasis on the West Ham game?
Yeah. DJB's derby still.
I understand.
Declan Rice derby as well.
DJB, I feel for you, mate. Out and live with that rabble.
Oh man,
the banner on your phone must be going mad.
Obviously, you're born near me, but you had to listen to that rabble. I also felt sorry for you. You know, when I went back into your zeitgeist, the 1980 FA Cup final, I really felt for you then.
Don't. Awful. But I remember coming at the station and there was West Ham fans everywhere. They had their flags out the window.
You went home with them.
There was banners. There was cars going up and down. There was shops with West Ham United flags flying. It was hell, man. Hell.
But when we talk about West Ham, when we segue into West Ham,
go on.
Are we bigging up? Are we putting the West Ham in this pedestal because one, they've won the last two games against us at the Emirates?
We should hope with.
Or is it
I thought we were just on a 3 point thing.
Because I'll tell you one thing, from a footballing point of view, right now, you know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be watching that game against Everton today, and I'm going to want to watch. I'm going to want to study their tactics, and I'm going to call my Arteta and say, right, this is how West Ham play. This is how I want you to play.
Now they got Nuno as well.
Yeah. Because that's. I think that's what. Because I think with West Ham, you know, I kind of someone sent me reasons why Potter got the sack, and it was like some of the players took the absolute Michael, but Potter's biggest problem at West Ham is that the captain he doesn't think Gerard Bowen's a leader.
No. I think the problem is with Nuno is when you see him playing at Forest, he likes to play on a counter attack and get his defensive lineup very compact. The problem is with West Ham, they've got no defence, so Nuno can't play that way. He can't play that way. He hasn't got the players to play like he did at Forest. Quite simply, and even the West Ham fans I know, and all the West Ham fans are as honest as the day's long. They even say they haven't got the players. The recruitment's not been good enough, and they just haven't got the players to play any.
Well, you know what? He says Sullivan, and Brady's got no shares. Brady should just resign.
Gooner love for the super.
That's how I look at it. If they, I think they've made enough money out of West Ham. I think all the decisions they've made on behalf of the club be wrong. And I say it respectfully. I don't mind going to the Olympic Stadium and watch football once a season. But if I was to go there every home game, God help me.
It's a horrible stadium, man.
God help me.
It's not nice. They've been. Listen, it was free though, wasn't it? I mean, they pay hardly anything for it. They pay nothing for it. This is
our council tax. Our council tax pays for that.
Yeah,
and local rates.
From a business point of view, they're laughing. Well,
I'd be very disappointed if we don't win 3-0, 3-1 against West Ham. I'll be absolutely mortified.
Yeah, man. Fuck your managerial bounce. These are the games. I know it's every game.
We can't afford to drop any more points at home against. We can't.
You know.
And Arteta spoke about the pain of the past. West Ham pained us last year. Move to them.
Yeah, but you know, remember that Walker. Who they got right back? They got Walker Peters, who's on a free for Southampton. The left back. Who they got? They got Kilman, who makes a mistake about 2 or 3 mistakes.
Let's be real. They're shit. Obviously, they got Bowen and Paqueta. It's these kind of games that we actually make harder for ourselves. But if we want to win the league, we need to win.
Yeah, but you know that who's
the hot take? Liverpool also dropping points this week as well, because I think
who's that midfielder? You know, who's a Czech midfielder who always scores goals from midfield? What's his name again? He's He's suspended.
Yeah.
Was he suspended though? Because he.
No, he's back.
Did you watch the Spurs game when they played Spurs and they played that midfield? We can run through them.
All you have to do is set pieces against the West Ham. They can't defend set pieces.
Or you get, you know what? Because I imagine Nuno's going to say, let's keep it tight. I don't want to damage any sort of new optimism. Bro, you get that first goal early at the Emirates on a high beating Newcastle.
But there's a West Ham turn up against Arsenal. You know they do.
And this is my fear, DJB.
Their fans
they
turn
up against Arsenal. It's their cup final, man, and they bring thousands. They bring thousands, and their away fans don't stop singing from moment one till the end. So it's going to be tough. But Olympiacos, I reckon I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 Olympiacos, and I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham.
I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham. 4-0 tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wednesday.
I
think we're going to run right.
I don't think it'd be 4. I think it'd be tricky.
I'm bullish, you know. If I don't, because unpopular opinion, I don't want to see any rotation this week. I understand 1 or 2. I think the same team needs to be out there. We need to get points.
You don't need to have silly rotation because, like, we got an international break.
Of course, if it's a Calafiori for a Miles Skelly or something like that, I'm not. It's not that
with
deep.
Champions League, I'm not looking at any pretty football. Just you don't want them playoffs. Just get the 3 points. Get out of there. Get the 3 points. Make sure the players come out not injured. Get the 3 points. You don't want to be going down that playoff route. Just get in that top.
Exactly.
Top that table and just get in the knockout stage. Just enjoy the evening. Have a nice evening out. Get the 3 points. You don't want no playoffs. You don't want that. You don't want.
In relation to the group stages at Arsenal, do what you did last year. Just quick and fast. Just get through to the next round.
I think with West Ham, one player I'm glad isn't playing. It's that, and he's always been a nuisance when he plays against us because he never stops working. Is Mikel Antonio. I know I can understand why he did because of the leg break, but in terms of like leaders around the leaders and what for the dressing room, and if he's come back 100% fit, because you need that kind of character in your dressing room.
Yeah.
Facts. Would you not think of this? This is a good question. Unpopular opinion here. I'm benching Rice against West Ham. I don't need him being sentimental and playing a shocker against his old club. I think that's harsh on Rice because he's done well against his old boys. But where you like with that?
But Canarola, last 2 games at home, he has been.
Yeah, exactly. And he got booed.
Yeah.
Say that again, Kenny.
I say he has been poor against West Ham, but what's the flip side to that, Gunnarola, is that you got to play Marino and Zubimendi in midfield. So
yeah, because you know Arteta's not going to go with the Eze and Odegaard / Ranieri and Zubimendi.
Come on.
I genuinely think Odegaard starts Eze's left wing. The pivot stays the same way. I think he's going to do that.
You say that. Who goes? You say that. Eze's played his best football in the middle of the park, but Odegaard's back in the team. Does Eze play the wing or does he go on the bench?
It all depends if he wants to persist with Trossard, innit? I don't think he should kill Eze's momentum because even going into the game, Arteta kept saying things, and he said it after, like, "Oh yeah, Eze deserves to start. He's been impressing me. He's been chomping at the bit. He's got his opportunity. Just keep it going because you can always make changes." I just genuinely feel the minute Odegaard's back fit, he's in. So I'd want Eze in central midfield, but the only way for me to achieve that with how I think Arteta thinks is whether I like it or not, Eze left wing is better than him being on the bench, right? And then you've got Odegaard, and then we just take it from there. Me, I want to see it. Well, to be fair, though, you could argue with Eze doing his thing, you can kind of take time with Odegaard. But Odegaard is a shoulder injury, isn't it? It's not really like
this is where the manager. This is where we're going to show how Mikel Arteta's improved now, isn't it? Because he's got decisions to make. He's got.
If in Odegaard is that, you say it's just a shoulder injury, but against Leeds it flared up. He got injured, and he got to come off. Against Nottingham Forest, it flared up again. He's got to come off. Which means it's not particularly. Which means what's going to happen is that if he does get the contact, he'll go off again.
And if that happens, just go and get surgery, man.
There's got to be something wrong there with his shoulder to the extent that any form of contact he's coming off.
One thing's for sure: Ethan Smith Rowe's not getting a look in. That's for sure.
I was wondering when DJB was going to say that.
You know what? Was he in the part of the
He travelled, but he weren't on the bench.
No, travelled weren't even on the bench. Ethan Smith Rowe. I'm telling you now, he's treating him like he's done Ethan Smith Rowe. He's going on loan in January. I'm telling you.
You know him, Wanyeri, Miles Lewis. Sorry, Dalman, Wanyeri, Lewis Kelly. They're the easiest ones to leave out, whether we like it or not. To leave out.
Wow.
No,
I don't
know who's on the bench.
The way he treats Ethan is just unacceptable. It's another Smith Rowe. I've said it from day one, and when he goes out on loan, I'll be very surprised if that guy don't end up at West Ham or someone like that.
You know what? I didn't realise. I didn't realise that Max Down was on the bench either. I had to pay attention.
He's clearly
he's ahead in his development than Max Dowman. So if anyone should have been left out, it should have been Max. But there you go. That's how I feel about Ethan. I think he's been sold a dream, and I think he's going to end up.
Clearly,
he's going to end up loaned out.
But the thing that
come on, Arteta,
in life, the thing in football is that football's like life. The inevitability does happen. We will get injuries. These guys will get games. We saw it last season. If you told me by the time last year that Miles Lewis Kelly would be a first choice left back going into a game against Real Madrid, I would have laughed at you. But that's exactly what happened.
Mm. Yeah. Oh well.
I just think when it comes,
we've got to go, DG. I think we're on with Lee, aren't we, Kenny?
Yeah, man. Let's let these lot get out of here, man.
We are with Lee, but as I said before, I know what I'm doing on Wednesday. I know what DJB's doing on Wednesday. DG, what are you doing on Wednesday?
I'm going to be doing a watch along. It's already sorted, man. Got 2 watch alongs this week.
Are you in Talk Sport? Are you in Talk Sport, DG?
No, not this week. Not this week, man. I'm a man of the people this week. I'm a man of the people.
Are you on a rotor? Are you on a rotor? Did they put you on a rotor, or was it just
they just shout me, man? When I get the call, they ask me, "Do I fancy?" I'm like, "Fuck it, why not, man?" No, I try not to go because I have a bit of and the chat normally get onto me. When I typically go on TalkSport, we don't typically win. Like, the Liverpool game,
you have a hard
the
time,
last minute, it's the cities. We just don't win.
Like? What's the pizza like? Is it? Do they give you pizzas and all that? Because I've been given pizza over the years. I've been in studios, and I'll tell you one thing. I won't mention their names, but I was on a TV show once a few years back. And the reason why I don't like doing it I went up to the guys and said, "Excuse me, can you get me a duck fried rice with chili oil? And can you get me a can of Coke? And can you get me some chicken wings?" What they came back with is, we went an Uber, we couldn't find a Chinese. What, you can't find a Chinese in the West End? You bullshit. What they got me?
Find that in London Bridge, there'd be an issue.
What they got me some chicken and chips. And I'll tell you one thing, right? When you got the fried chicken, sun fried chicken, I swear to God, it was like a crick. It was like I could play bowl Yorkers with it. It was that hard. The chicken.
Oh man.
You're never going to get nice food in
Central like
that, man.
Big up, everyone, man. It's been awesome. I'm glad we got it in this week, DG.
Yeah, same. I just hope we feel like this all the damn time.
Charlie, wherever you are, welcome back.
Yeah. SLD, I know you're Kenny's number one fan. Don't you worry.
Up your game, SLD.
Big up, everyone.
Trolling ain't been good this stream.
Oh yeah. Yeah, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to the guy that advised me and told me what was wrong with my camera, because I thought my camera.
Let me see if I find that comment.
Something was wrong with my computer, and I was going to actually smash it and get a new one. And all I had to do was just do this.
Wipe it,
and look at me now. That's all I had to do.
Tried turning it off and on again.
And the next thing, you just got to clean your glasses. That's it, and you'll be able to see everyone.
That's what's
and these are the people that say Arteta's not doing his job.
Hey, do you remember the time when people used to go?
Oh yeah, you man. Glasses have got to be clean.
Well, do you remember when people used to have glasses, right? And they used to put like sellotape around their glasses, because they can't be asked to buy new ones.
Exactly.
Or put blue in their glasses because they can't. You know what I mean?
Make sure you drop a sub. Come on, guys. Drop a sub. Even if you don't want to follow me, just drop a sub on there.
It's like no. Drop a sub, like, notification bells. DJB's channel needs to be followed. People.
Just give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Instagram.
And Kenny's even started uploading more on Instagram. I big up Lee. Lee's always reposting. I'm like, Kenny's in his influencer bag.
Yeah, we've got to go over to Lee now.
I'm never gonna be a YouTuber like that because I think that you guys are just there's too much. You don't need me to sort of clog up your arteries, your football arteries.
Don't downplay yourself, man.
So I'm gonna just be one of those people where I'm gonna let you guys enjoy your salads, and I'll just
well, I'll see you on the other side in a minute, Kenny, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Wednesday.
Also, before you lot get out of here, let people know where they can find you, where you lot are going next.
Yeah, DJB, the Arsenal Idol. We're going over to Leeds now. Lee Gunner.
So you know where to go for.
We do our normal Monday night Rat Army, which I'll
be listening. I want to hear plenty of Mikel Arteta praise.
Don't worry, it's all going to be positive. So we're going over to Leeds now. I'm on with Aaron tonight, and
Big up, Aaron.
Wednesday I've got my own show. It'd be a late one Wednesday. It'd be when I come back from the Emirates.
Turn on your notifications, folks.
Post reaction and all of that. And then Thursday, I'm on with Kenny. Me and Kenny, we're doing a Thursday chat, summing up the season so
Same
far.
Channel,
and come and join us, guys. It's good. It's good banter. It's good chat. It's all good. It's all football. Right. So big up.
I'm with DJB. I'm known with DJB today. Tomorrow, I think Jez does his 6 o'clock.
We're live tomorrow with Jez, yeah.
So I'm with DJB and Lee's channel, and then Thursday I'm with DJB again. And obviously in between that, I'm going to be at the Emirates on Wednesday, and the Emirates on Saturday as well.
Seeing each other every day.
Virtually, yeah.
But people are calling us. People are calling us the Saliba and the Gabriel with the stream wheels.
My brother's got a ticket. My brother's got a ticket, so I don't know where I'm going to meet him with our close friend.
Oh right. So, we're sat.
Yeah, but you know where he's sat. He's sat near you in the East Stand.
Oh, he's in the posh end, is he? I saw.
He's in block 24. He's in block 24.
Oh, right. Yeah, he can come up and see me. He can come and meet me.
What block are you in?
114.
All right, so he's in block 24, so he's more near to the away side.
Yeah. Fun. No, big up, my friend.
Yeah, man. Let's let Liz in. I don't want them to be late for Lee's stream, so you know where to find the lads. They're always
see you guys soon.
See you lot soon. Extra big up to these lot as well, because typically on a Wednesday we did it today on a Monday.
Next Wednesday, DJ.
Next Wednesday, normal service.
Next Wednesday, yeah.
And next Wednesday.
Big up the chat and everyone. Big up everyone.
Big up chat. Yeah. See you guys soon. Bye.
Good news, people. Go follow them on Lee's platform. We're out. You lot are horrible because you start acting when new people come on. Some of you, boy, Shirley, SLD, boy, I see all of the comments. But remember who done this. Enjoy your evening.